Okay, ladies and gents, boys, girls, anybody else who is watching, is the big one. It's the GT2 Championship finale this evening. We are live on the FTRL YouTube channel for the final time this season from the world famous Nurburgring circuit. Not the full GP one, we're doing the sprint day out tonight, try and keep the racing as close as possible. But we have plenty of things to go through, plenty of different championship permutations. There is a possibility that we could have, well, any one of 5 different championship winners tonight. 4 is probably the realistic number, but there is a very small outside chance that we've got a 5-way race for the title this evening. Joining me on commentary for the very first time, I believe, we have the GT1 roadblock himself. It is Jonesy. Good evening, mate.
Good evening, Aaron. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Obviously raced in GT2 a little bit, but looking forward to getting to watch our championship contenders go at it.
Yeah, it should be good. I'm just going to make sure that your sound's okay. Bear with me just 1 second. Everybody in the stream chat, please let us know how well you can hear Jonesy, if he needs to go up, down, left, right. Jonesy's a little quiet. I've just turned him up a little bit, so hopefully that should help. But we're going to start qualifying, and we're going to take you through all proceedings in the next 5 minutes or so, if we can manage it. We've got another debutant tonight as well. But 5 minutes of qualifying is upon us. Who's going to be first out? That is a Rizzler car.
It's Royston leading the way.
Royston leads the way.
There you go.
Beautiful. In the look at that Oreo splash. That's a very Aaron livery. That
it is. I must admit, this is the first time I've got a chance to actually look at these liveries, because normally they're 10 yards up the road.
10 yards? That's generous.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, what I will say to the people watching the stream this evening, Jonesy probably won't say too much on commentary. He's only actually joining us tonight because he wants to have a good look at the track and write a formal letter to a German council about the roads. So just bear with him on that basis. Your microphone is popping a hell of a lot. But it's all right. It's no problem. Right, let's talk you through proceedings for the evening. So, as it stands, Prototype Steph is the championship leader for GT2. I will leave it on Royston for now, just because he's a very handsome man. And we will go through how everything looks into the final week of the season. So, as it stands, Prototype Steph is on 212 points and he's the championship leader. But the big thing is he's missing this evening's races. So that means that either Lennon, Blue Flag, Joker, or even the very small outside chance of Andy will likely be crowned as champion this evening, unless they all have absolute shockers, which means that Steph will still be champion. So, as it stands, I believe Lennon needs 27 points. Am I right in saying that?
Yes, Lennon will need 27. Obviously, the big thing is race wins are our tiebreaker, and Lennon will outdo.
Yeah, your mic's popping on and off, mate. You can't hear you at all. Sorry.
We'll see how it goes.
It's just sort of popping on and off like you were disconnecting it. Right. Either way, so the permutations are Lennon needs to score 27 points to be champion. Obviously, making sure that he outscores Blue Flag and Zombie. So Blue Flag, I believe, is 7 points behind Lennon, and Joker is 8 points behind Lennon. So there's only 1 between Blue Flag and Joker, and then Andy's a further sort of 12 back. So Andy's got a very small outside chance of winning this, but he is still mathematically part of the equation. It's going to be really, really close. Bear in mind we get 1 point for pole as well, so that could make all the difference. So keep an eye on your pole sitter for the evening. Jonesy is going to try and do the tables or keep the you know, championship standings up as he goes throughout the evening, and we're going to try and keep you updated race by race. So let's have a look at the contenders, shall we? So Lennon comes across the line to do his first flying lap. Not the best, 1:34.8. Homer, who's a new driver, is currently on pole, 1:31.6. And Blue Flag, championship contender number 2, has just gone pole by just under 2.5 tenths with a 31.3. Now what I will say is a Blue Flag, this is a personal favourite of his from what I can remember. He should go well tonight. The biggest issue he has will be his own head. I feel that's a very safe thing to say. And we all know that when Simon gets a bit desperate for an overtake or a move, there's something in there that will definitely start triggering alarm bells, and he could send himself into Timbuktu. So we'll keep an eye on that for the evening. Must be said as well, we've been joined by Homer UK this evening. A friend of Royston's, been brought in for the final week of the season, has signed up for next season as well. So yeah, and a lovely chap. So it'd be good to see how he goes this evening. And he's put himself in P3, repping the Bristol Street Motors livery. So naturally, I want him to do well. And Dusty Fossil just marginally behind in P4.
I will say the thing to note here is because Andy's so far off the back, he's not going to get another lap. So this is Andy's lap for pole.
Right, okay, that's a good point actually. As it stands, Blue Flag is still your man on pole, 1:31.3. So at the moment, he will get the additional point. Lennon 32.8. Lennon's not got to do anything mad tonight. He's just not got to. He's got to get to the points total and not concede too many more to Blue Flag. So Lennon, on paper, I think has got the easier of tasks. I think, but Blue Flag, when he's in this kind of mood, and we've seen by the amount of races he's won this season, the pace is there. So, and Joker as well has been, he's the other championship contender. He's been brilliant all season. However, I don't think he'll be too pleased starting in P6. So stay on board with Joker. I think he's going to be the last one to complete his final lap. And then we've got 12 laps of racing. So should be a familiar track to everybody.
I think the tough thing for Joker going through that second sector is second down. So unless he pulls something miracle out, he's not going to improve.
Yep. Just going to have a quick look at the chat. So good evening to Graham, Eddie the legend, he's back in. Unsafe release, Pagani, Marley's in the chat, OTP's in the chat, KC's in the chat, Derek's back. Good to see you, Derek. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, please all do. I will ask you this a few times throughout the course of the evening. Please do like the stream, much appreciated. Really appreciated. We've got almost 20 people watching already, which is great. And go back to the action. Blue Flag 30.9. He's on pole by just over 0.6 of a second. So yeah, I think that settled that debate. So Blue Flag's got himself the additional point. I think from the very basic maths that we've done so far, if Blue Flag gets pole and wins every single race tonight, Lennon needs to finish third in every race to be crowned champion. I believe that's how we've worked it out.
Yes, so Lennon needs to be 7 points or closer behind Blue Flag. So obviously Simon could win every race, but as long as Lennon's up on that podium with him, championship is Lennon's.
Absolutely. Well, I think because Marley's in the pits, I'm not sure how that's going to work. There we go. Job done. Blue Flag gets pole. First job of the evening done. I would say advantage Blue Flag, but Lennon's still very much in the driving seat. Right.
Yeah, Andy not too far behind either in fourth. Our championship contenders, Joker probably the one out of position down in seventh.
Yeah. What I will say to the stream is please obviously get your predictions in for the podiums as always. I always like going through those and referring back to them, but also who you think is going to come out on top of the championship here, because this really genuinely is quite intriguing. If Blue Flag wins his first race and it closes the gap down, really could go down to the last couple of laps of the final race tonight, and from a spectator perspective, that's what we really all want to see. So for the final time this season, let's start race number 1 of 3. Ask Comms. So yeah, get some Ask Comms in. Feel free to do so. Who's been your standout driver this season? I know it's a boring answer, but Steph has genuinely been superb. I know there's a couple of little bumps and bangs along the way. I didn't expect Steph to sort of be as dominant as he was. Blue Flag coming in and winning 6 has been great. I'll have a think on that and come back to you. But right, we're lights out. Race number 1. Blue Flag's going to pull over immediately and go defensive. He's had a good start off the line. Lennon is pulled to the outside of Homer, and I think he's got himself ahead, as is Andy. So not the best turn 1 for Homer. I think he's been quite sensible there, trying to avoid any accidents. And Lennon is immediately on the attack. Can he send one up the inside of Blue Flag, who's run wide? Lennon's into the race lead. Can he cover off Blue Flag for the next right? Yes, he can. Great start by Lennon. Early games. Andy's right up there with him as well in P3. Can he put any pressure onto Blue Flag? I think everybody's got away safely. Oh, Homer's run wide. Dusty Fossil's going to run alongside. Good racing all round. That's Marley's run off a little bit wide in the distance there. Little bit of bumping and banging. Oh, as Bread's taking a visit to the grass. Somebody else further back has as well. That's Zombie. Mikey's up in P9, but Lennon's going to take us through the chicane of lap number 1. Marley and Joker side by side. Job done. It's all been quite sensible, hasn't it, Jonesy?
I was going to say, this is one of the cleaner lap ones we've had. Nobody sort of going off into the grass. Very well done. Joker down in 8th, so he's lost a position early, so he's just got to be patient and work his way back through the field.
Must be said as well, Goykarp still with the field. Blue Flag. Oh, I thought he was going to take a look at Lennon net, but he doesn't do so. Blue Flag won't need a second invitation to go for a little lunge, must be said. And Andy's just got to stay patient here and try and mop up any potential incidents. Now, out of these two, you definitely prefer to be in Lennon's position. Obviously, I know he's winning, but even if Blue Flag goes past him, it still gives Lennon an advantage, I think, because that's more points Blue Flag's got to make up.
Yeah, it's you'd say on pace advantage to Blue Flag, but with it being 1 point between each position, Lennon knows it doesn't matter how far ahead he gets, as long as he's the one behind him, he's alright.
Absolutely. I'm right. Apologies to the stream. I'm just going to very quickly nip into the party settings.
I'll do my best to keep up with the action as you do that.
Yep, I'll only be literally 1 second.
Yep. Marley and Joker sort of falling away from the front 5 at the moment, but Lennon, Blue Flag and Andy right up the front with each other. And the tough thing for Andy is, due to the amount of points he needs, he's going to need to be on the top 2 steps in this race if he wants to keep his slim hope alive.
Yep. Well, Blue Flag on the attack. We start lap number 3. Lennon's doing what he needs to do at the moment. Blue Flag pulls to the outside. He's going to try and get a cut back on Lennon. Lennon just parks it on the apex. Job done. And he's still there. Dusty Fossil's had a good start to the race so far, and he's closing on these guys at the front. Blue Flag, is he going to take a look? He's still being sensible. Like I said, you prefer to be Lennon, because he knows if he just drops that 1 place, that's going to mean that Blue Flag's got more points to gain on him throughout the rest of the evening.
Yeah, and obviously if you side, the last thing you want to do is go for a lunge and put yourself on the grass and give yourself everything to do.
Yeah. Ask Comms, where would OTP be on the grid? It wouldn't be on the grid, it'd be probably on the grass. That's what I'd say. Can we confirm, by the way, that all volumes and everything are all good tonight? Please let us know. Well, we've got a little front pack of 5, and then there's 2.5 seconds back to Marley, who's had another very good start to his FTRL dance, we'll call it that. Joker's had a good run out the final chicane.
So a bit out of shape for Marley, so that'll be a place for Joker.
Yeah. Mikey's sticking with the pack.
Big thing for Joker now is if he can get up to that front 5 and catch the other 3.
In-game sound needs to be louder, no problem, I'll sort that out. Blue flag down the inside. Mr. Smith, I've sent you a invite as well if you would like to join. Bit of a bump from blue flag there, I think as he bounced off the curb, and Andy's gone through as well. So Lennon's down the inside, Andy's off the track. Dusty Fossil's probably going to follow him through.
Looks like Joker has now got past Marley. Marley didn't give up that fight for a long time, but looks like he's clean through now.
Yeah. Apologies, I'm just trying to sort the sound out.
All good, mate. But yeah, pack of 5 at the front, it's where the Joker can catch up to them. But with his pace, I would imagine he will.
Should be a little louder sound-wise. I'll have a good look after the race is finished. Apologies to the rest of the guys on the grid. Obviously, we are going to try and heavily focus on the championship battles tonight. We are aware, obviously, that people are racing up and down the order. As Goy Carp is actually going really well down in P12. You can still see the pack of cars in front. Nobby Norris is behind. He's chasing down Royston as well. Blue flag, half a second gap to Lennon, who's had a better run at the final corner, so that should come down towards the sort of 2.5 tenths mark by turn 1, possibly. I doubt Lennon will take a look. He'll probably just tuck in and sit with him. And Dusty Fossil was putting pressure on Andy in third, but Andy going very well, must be said. And Homer's really impressive in the debut fighting with these guys at the front.
Yeah, so he's certainly done very well. Got a bit out of shape on lap 1. I think lost a couple of positions, but as I say, if he sticks with these, he'll be in for a good first race.
Yeah. Marley, half-second penalties. He's going to drop down behind Mikey and Zombie and into the clutch of Royston, who's bringing Goy with him, and Nobby Norris. So nobody's really dropped off so far, which is what we want to see. Blue flag 6 tenths clear of Lennon, and Andy and Dusty Fossil were still there. Don't count those guys out of this race yet. When Dusty Fossil's around, anything can happen, as we know. Good evening, Mr. Smith.
Good evening, ladies.
How are we?
Good, thank you. Can someone in the stream just confirm you can hear me?
Yeah. Your microphone volume is a little quiet for me, but maybe that's just me.
I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, is it?
No, it's a good point. That is a good point. Well, we've got the luxury of 3 commentators this evening now. We've been joined by multiple GT1 champion. I'm sure you'll love me saying that, Mr. T. Smith. Tom's even quieter than normal, apparently, so I think you've got to do some adjustments from your side, mate. Right, Lennon and Blue Flag side by side into turn 1. Dusty Fossil and Andy side by side through turn 1. Lennon's going to have the inside line. Nearly tagged the back of Blue Flag, but Dusty Fossil has got past Andy and up into third place. He's now going to put pressure on the front 2. He's dived up the inside of Lennon and tagged him. And now Blue Flag has managed to get out of slipstream range of Lennon, so he's not going to be best pleased about that.
Hopefully that's a bit better for everyone.
That should be much
better.
Yeah.
Much better. I can hear your soul now.
I don't think Lennon finishing second is the worst result for him.
No, I was just saying that.
If he manages to get a good start in the second race and keep side behind him for as long as possible, because Lennon's worst case scenario is on the reverse grid. Sai starts ahead of him and then clears up the road and puts 6-7 cars between him and Sai.
Yeah.
That's where the points is going to come tonight. It's not going to be on track, it's sort of pace-wise, it's going to be if Si or Lennon in a reverse grid or the mixed-up grid can put 4 or 5 cars between them in a lap. That's when the chase down will happen.
Absolutely. Just watching Royston go through up the inside of Zombie into the chicane, and Nobby Norris and Goykart follow through in the FTRL KFC car. Blue flag, fastest up of the race, 1:31.2. Analysis, hashtag analysis is coming in for the chat, Tom. This is what we're after. This is what we've needed all along, because none of us have ever won anything, so we all just guess. And after
you game now on me here, because whenever we're teammates, you just slap me around the room, don't you? So.
Well, see, look, you said that publicly. I've never mentioned that. I've never mentioned it publicly. I've kept that private. But he is in fact right. Every time me and Tom are teammates, I demolish him. So
back in slipstream, Lennon.
Yep. Although he's just gone incredibly wide out of turn 4. But he's there. Blue flag. At this point, I'm sure he's just going to try and manage the race. I think it's more... I mean, you'll know, Tom, and you, Jonesy, as well. When you race blue flag, if there's something to race for, as time goes on, there can be a few little wobbles in there somewhere. Now, he's doing all he can so far by winning race 1 and getting pole. But with his main championship rival at this stage looking like it's going to be Lennon now, with Joker a few more cars down the grid, blue flag in races 2 and then 3 is going to get increasingly more desperate.
Yeah.
So...
I'm looking at it from Simon Lennon's point of view. It doesn't matter if they finish first or second, just do not finish behind Carl. Dusty Fussell in third. If they flip-flop this position, 1 point's not really going to make a difference now. It's going to be the reverse grid race. You cannot drop behind Carl and lose an extra 2 points. Yeah.
Well, speaking of, he's just done the fastest lap of the race, 1:30.7, and he's putting Lennon under all sorts of pressure. So Andy's having a good old scrap with Homer. He's had a really good solid debut so far. He's only a couple of seconds off the front runners. Right up there with Andy. Joker's managed to clear the pack now of Mikey, who's just gone up the inside of Bread. And then you've got Marley, who's trying to catch back up. And then you've got Zombie, Royston, Goykarp, and then a few seconds back, Nobby Norris. But we're approaching 2/3 of the way through the race. And he's tailed off a little bit. Did he get a penalty, or has he just had a poor couple of laps? 33.2 and 32.3. Yeah, he's just had a poor couple of laps by the looks of it.
Mikey's breaking all rules and not being in P11.
Yeah.
Still 4 laps left. There's still hope.
Yeah. Well, this is a point that Mr. Smith makes regularly to me, is that Mikey went from being 11th in GT1 to 11th in GT2.
Oh, size gun.
He's off. Dusty Fossil's through. And there we go. There's the first wobble. Now, if Lennon can win this race and Blue Flag finishes 3rd, that's going to be serious advantage Lennon. But Dusty Fossil, to me,
Carl will not sit back.
Yeah. To me, he looks like he could be the one to go through and win this.
And if you're Lennon, the main thing here is do not take the risk. Make sure you just finish
one
place around Si. Just
don't lose to Si, who is immediately back up the inside of Lennon. Bit of a bump out wide. Lennon's got to hold this. This is important. Blue flag's through. There's a bit of a tag, and I've just seen City Posh Blue in an FTRL chat for the first time in about 2 years. My former apprentice. I love that man. Love City Posh Blue. Lovely to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Peteman's in the chat. It's all going off. And he's probably angry in P4. And Joker is getting closer. He's a little bit far back, but Biggles in the chat saying what a drive, Dusty. Yeah, he's driven very well. He's capable of this, but he's also capable of driving himself off the track. So, which he'll be the first to admit, that could be a penalty. Could be wrong.
Lennon ran the outside of Si, setting him up for the back straight.
Yeah. See, if they've got different motivations, I think, here, because I think Lennon just needs to lose as minimal points to Blue Flag as possible, but Blue Flag needs to try and get as many points back on Lennon as possible. So Blue Flag's got to try and win this. Lennon's just got to try and be as close to him as possible.
The thing Lennon's got to be careful of is he doesn't just focus on one driver. He just needs to race tonight as best he can, finish as high up the grid as possible, because you can get to a point where if you're staring at the person you're trying to beat all night, it doesn't half wane your concentration just watching one guy on track.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lee's just made the point I was about to make here. We do have a Wild Andy who's suddenly become curious in this race. He's become interested, only 1.5 seconds off the race lead.
There's a few interesting lines out front and people trying to make opportunities, and they've dropped into the 32s, 33 for Lennon last lap, and Andy did 1.5 seconds out of them.
Yeah, easily done. When you've got something to play for, you can really mess with you. Dusty Fossil pulling. See, what happened here was a couple of seasons ago, myself and Pagani were fighting for a championship, and Blue Flag became... Oh, God.
Let's put Carl off.
Yeah. He could have got him a penalty there as well. Blue Flag's played that quite well. Yeah, there we go. It's clever from Blue Flag. Yeah, Blue Flag decided to just put himself in the way of our championship fight for the whole race around Spa. And now I know that Blue Flag's now getting a very small taste of what happened to him here. So, if anything, it's karma.
And another key point now with that penalty. Will Carl drop between them? Will he drop behind both of them?
Behind both of them, I think.
Lennon's got to make sure he just keeps it nice and tidy around this lap.
Yeah, penultimate lap. I said I apologise to everybody else on track tonight, but it's a championship battle. Lennon's had a wiggle. That was close. That could be the difference. That could drop Dusty Fossil between them.
And Andy's now in slipstream.
Yep.
And Homer UK, he's also there as well.
I've been so impressed with him on his debut.
Solid.
Yeah.
He's only getting quicker as the race goes on as well. His times have dropped in all the time.
Yeah, really good. And to be fair to Joker, he's brought the time down. He's done really well to clear that pack and sort of catch back up. Dusty Fossil, half-second penalty. He's approaching the line now. He's going to serve it. Where's he going to come out? That's the magic question here. Oh, Lennon's had a run. They're going to go 3 wide. Lennon's past Dusty Fossil. Is he going to take a look at Blue Flag into the final chicane? He's going to tuck him behind.
Will you regret that later on tonight?
He may well do. Dusty Fossil's had a run back through again. Is he going to take a look into the final corner? Lennon's, driving very defensively now. Blue Flag has pulled a second on him. And Lennon...
This is Lennon's problem. This is P5 on the cards if he's not careful.
Yeah, so Lennon's gone very defensive, hugging the inside wall. And Dusty Fossil's going to be on the outside of him. He can either try and cut back or go the long way round. He's going to go the long way round. Lennon just needs to drive across, hold his line, which he does. And he's on the outside. Dusty Fossil gets a bump.
Oh.
Final lap of the race. Lennon's currently third. Dusty Fossil's been tagged, I think. He's had a wiggle. And Blue Flag looks dead set to win this race. And he's taking a look at Lennon. It's gone from bad to worse. Lennon's held it round the outside, held his line, kept the speed up, kept himself ahead of Andy. That could be really important. Blue Flag looks almost certain to win this race now, 1.6 seconds.
And crucially, Lennon's just in Carl's slipstream, which might give him enough just to hold Andy off down into the chicane.
Yeah, I think Andy might have clipped the gravel as well on exit, so a couple more corners to navigate as Jonesy's tactically lagged out.
Oh, good run from Andy.
Oh, yeah, Lennon's tagged the grass. Andy is there. Blue Flag goal. Dusty Fossil, half-second penalty.
That'll turn into a second, but I think he should be alright.
Oh, Lennon's had a poor run. Blue Flag wins the race. Dusty Fossil second, Lennon third, Andy fourth, Homer fifth, and Joker was right there with him at the end, P6. Bread comes home for a P7. Mike weirdly gets a P8. Marley P9, Zombie P10, Nobby Norris 11. Goikart 12.
He'll be chuffed with that.
Yeah, he drove well, driven really, really well. He's been with that pack the whole race. And then Royston P13. Cracking end. Well, cracking start to the stream, but end to the first race. Oh, this is going to get spicy. Right.
From how that last lap started, I think Lennon should be very, very happy with how that ended.
Yeah. Yeah, that could have been very bad for Lennon. A couple of bumps and bangs, but that wasn't too bad, to be honest. I need to load my random wheel. So remember that race number 2, someone between 6th and 10th will be starting on pole position. So let's have a look. So it's going to be somewhere between Joker, who's a championship leader, well, contender, and Zombie down in P10. So it could be any one of those guys. So let's have a look. Right, let's load the random wheel.
Feel the tension.
Oh, it's close. It's P7.
We have an American.
Yeah, we have an American on pole. Turn myself down. So P7. Tom, will you do me a favour and quickly just take a photo of the results on your phone and then read them back to me?
Yep, give me 2 seconds.
Before I change the lobby over.
I'm made stupid now. I can only see the results for the top 8.
Can you press X?
Yes, I can. I've never done that before. There we go, we're all learning together.
There we go. Right, 22 people, 25 people in the stream. Please give it a like. Much appreciated. Right. Let's change the event settings for race number 2. A couple of apologies in the chat.
I still haven't learned which bread's bread and which one's goy.
So bread 1, 2, 3 is American bread, and then 4, 5, 6 is Goikart bread.
Oh, I've got game icons on rather than their PSN tags, so it's even more harder to distinguish.
Yeah, no, sod that.
Right, John and Red back.
I need people to get in their cars first.
This Jonesy's done his usual GT night, gone to sit in his car and his PlayStation.
Yeah.
Reset the internet.
Yeah, Jonesy's got famously horrific internet, so... Right, so, well, we've got a few more people to just jump into their cars. Whilst we're doing so, Tom, should we share with the chat the game you played last night, where you decided to put your hand on the hob to see how long you could hold it on there?
I don't think we need to discuss this.
No, okay, fair enough. No, that's all right. No, just for reference for those that are watching. So last night, Mr. Smith's fiance is away for a couple of days, and the games he decided to play last night was when he was cooking his dinner. He tried to see how high he could bring the water to boil in his pan without it overflowing, and also how long he could hold his hand on a boiling hot hob before it hurt.
Look, a man has needs, all right? If they're not fulfilled, my needs brackets, dinner cooked for me, I have to entertain myself.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. It's a good point. Right, can I please have the grid? So bread will be on pole.
Pole position for bread.
Yep.
Championship contender Joker, P2.
Yep.
Homer UK, P3. Lord Andoir, P4.
Yep.
Lennon, P5. Carl, P6.
Yep.
Dusty Fossil. Blue Flag, P7.
Yep.
And then we're jumping back to the original grid of Mikey, P8.
Yep.
There's dizzying heights of P8 for old Mike.
Yep, good lad.
And then we have Marley, P9.
Yep.
We have a solid week. Zombie, P10.
Yep.
Nobby, P11.
And then Goy, then Royston.
That's the one.
Perfecto. Right. We'll give them a 1 minute warning. It looks significantly brighter than it did in the first race. and not to spoil it for anybody, but I know we've had none of it all season, but it can race. It can race. It can rain.
It can race.
It can
I
race
hope
at
one
the
breaks out
Nurburgring.
at some point.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, but when you've watched Mike for a season,
Yeah, true.
yeah,
Well, there was rumours of the lobby that there was originally in having a tiny blue dot appear just before quali that set them all off jumping back to the pits, because guess the people that didn't have the wet weather tyres brought. Cough Goy, cough Mike.
oh, wonderful.
But we didn't get it.
Right, so let's go. Who's your prediction for race 2, Tom?
Oh, I think Joker. He's been solid all season. If he gets out in front, he started to, like you said at the end of that race, he got his laps together and started to close down the front three. If he can get a little lead built up before the sort of championship train joins him, I think he's got a good chance.
Yeah, this could be very, very close indeed. I'm excited for this one. This is
This is
a
the
really
pressure.
big race. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a big race, this. Right. Here we go. Oh, here we go.
I'm going to ride on board with Sai to get the championship fight.
Sai being
start.
blue flag, just for those that don't
Yeah,
know,
sorry,
by the way.
sorry,
No,
Lewis.
it's alright, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just letting you know. Lights out, away we go. Bread's got a good start off the line. Joker could have a run down the inside, but I think Bread's going to be able to cover him off nicely. Homer and Andy are side by side in towards turn 1. Lennon's gone for a dive up the inside of Andy, but Andy's held the line well. Blue flag taking a wide line. He's going to tuck in behind Dusty Fossil, but everybody else is away clean. Not too
This
much.
is a big move for Lennon now around the outside of Homer. Can put 2 cars between him and Sai if he pulls it off.
He's going to have the inside line for the next corner. Leans on him a little bit. Dusty Fossil could follow him through. But Lennon looks to be job done. Bread's still got a 3.5 tenth lead. Joker second, Andy third. Lennon is up to 4th. And Blue Flag has got to get past Dusty Fossil and Homer. Patience is key.
Blue flag up the inside of Dusty Fossil at the first chance he got. Great move. And he's going to have a run at Homer into the chicane.
Knows what he needs to do, but this is where we could see the cracks, the chinks in the armour. They're going to go 3 wide. Are they going to go 3 wide? They certainly are.
Or very late on the brakes by Homer. That was great defending.
Yeah, good driving. Very good driving. This is somebody with minimal league racing experience as well, and he's done that, so very nicely done. Mikey up the inside of Marley, job done. He's going to take a look at Zombie into the final corner.
And we've got a drag race for the lead. Joker's just tucked in Bread slipstream. We'll be sure to make a move into turn 1.
Yeah, probably the long way round, you'd think.
It's a great corner for overtaking that because there's 7 different lines you can fire it in and still come out in front.
Yeah, Andy's had a good run for the first corner actually as well. Oh, a little bit of a bump from Joker on Bread, and Andy's going to go through. Could Andy be taking a race lead here?
If they had the pace again in race 1, I think he had a couple of tenths on Joker.
Well, it's all about how quickly Lennon can get past Bread. I mean, we know Bread's not a slow driver at all. He's not done much practice this season. He's just getting himself back into it all again. But we know it's there. We've seen it on multiple occasions before. Blue Flag's still behind Homer. Dusty Fossil there as well. Blue Flag will be conscious of him behind. And Andy could have a run on Joker, who's had a... Yeah, Andy's had a very poor run. Bradley's on the gravel. Lennon's going to have a run down towards the chicane.
These are the moves for Lennon now.
Blue Flag, is he going to take a late look? No, he still tucks in behind.
Lennon up the inside of Bread. Just give him loads of room on the inside. Easy pass. Too nice from Bread there. Come on, Bread, squeeze him.
He's got. I think he's got the momentum to have a run back at him though. And Blue Flag is very close. Andy half a second away from Joker. Lennon keeps position. Blue Flag down the inside. Homer's run wide down into P7. Not sure if there's any contact. Didn't manage to see that one, but
No, I missed that one.
Blue flag onto the Astro on the outside.
It's good to see Brad keeping Lennon honest as well. It's all nice and tight at the front.
Good evening, Witchell. Witchell's in the chat, supporting Joker. There's a lot of blue in the front three cars.
Yeah.
Now,
this is important for Lennon now. If he can keep this, he's only one position away really from giving himself a stupidly good chance of winning this title. I think if he gets second now, no matter what side does, all he's got to really do is finish mid-grid next race and it's his. So
absolutely. Well, the rest of the grid are pretty spaced out, which is good. Blue flag I just saw was going for a move up the inside of Bread. He's outbroke himself. Is he going to get reset? He is.
Yes, he is.
There we go. That's what we were talking about. Blue flag down to P9. Could be P10. He's got it all to do. Plenty of risk to take. And unfortunately, this is what can happen. We said it before. We called it earlier.
Lennon's nice clean moves at the start of the race. Just kept putting pressure on Blue flag every lap. One position, one position, one position. Yeah. Make inside, make the moves. Oh, Lennon's gone deep.
Lennon, that's very, very late on the brakes into the side of Andy. He's lifted off and let him go. Andy was taking a look at Joker then as well. That is very much advantage Lennon. Obviously, Joker's still in this as well. Don't rule him out. But he's going to take a very big result in the third race for Joker to now be in contention, I think. It's Lennon, Blue Flag and Joker that are your championship contenders. They're your three. In the background, I think are we three wide? No, we're... Red's P4, Homer's back ahead of Dusty Fossil, Mikey's P7.
Things are happening, boys.
Yeah, Blue flag, he's going to have to be very aggressive. We don't need to ask him twice, but he's going to need to be aggressive. He's giving Zombie a little push.
He's still only 6 seconds off the lead. I think on pure pace, he probably, take a good 3-4 seconds out of Andy and Joker over the next sort of 5-10 laps if there was a clear track, but
yeah, we see
how quick he can clear people.
Nobby Norris just goes past Royston with a penalty, and he's still there with Lennon. Only a couple of tenths between them.
We give a shout out to Goy for his fantastic livery that he definitely didn't make.
No, I can tell you that the gentleman in first place made that for him.
Yeah, that is a 10 out of 10.
It's a brilliant livery, the FTRL pearlescent coloured car.
Yeah,
that's what we're after. It's a beautiful car. Extra props to anybody that has the FTRL logo on the car. And he runs wide, Lennon to the outside.
Things are happening. Mikey just briefly got his nose into P6 with nearly an on-track overtake. Nearly,
of course.
Yeah. Size still down in P10.
I must say the ITVX car genuinely looks brilliant. I think
it's the better of the two.
So good, yeah. I think it looks so good. I must say a big shout out to Zom again for doing those. They look amazing.
Who's Hayford?
That's Mikey.
His name's just underscore from as far as I was
just
concerned.
Underscore Mikey, yeah.
So I'm still looking at the back of Zombie, so Blue flag. Yes. He's got to get this move done. His lead group have pulled a second and a half on him this lap already, and the laps are running out.
So in Blue flag's head now, he's fighting what would be needless defending, but this is only what he's done for the past 20 seasons of GT.
He's setting him up nicely. He's going to have a switch back into the final corner.
Yeah, that's a lovely move.
Perfect.
Very nice. He's got loads of experience, this Blue flag. Like I said to you, the biggest problem he's got is his own head sometimes, and we all know it. Andy's looking very, very interested in this race win. Halfway through, we're starting lap number 6. Lennon's there as well. Lennon's very late on the brakes into turn 1 every time. It frightens me.
He's got to be so careful with all the points he's going to gain on Blue flag at the minute.
Yeah, Dusty Fossil and Homer having a good scrap as well.
Would this be Andy's first win since his comeback to FTRL?
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, but Andy's never won on GT, I believe.
Oh, let's pile the pressure on that.
Yeah. Well, every week I always say I want him to win one, so I'll try not to do it this week, but I'd love nothing more. I'd love nothing more. Right on cue. Oh, it's a switch back from Joker.
Beautiful move.
That's a lovely move. That's an experienced move. And he's looking interested. He's looking very interested. He can smell it.
Must be sat in that position now. If I'm Lennon in this position, I'm not that close to Andy. He's got 3 seconds behind to Fossil. His championship rivals just cleared P10.
Yeah.
He's 8 seconds off the lead. He does not want to get caught up in an accident.
If I'm Lennon in this position, one, I'm panicking because I don't win anything. But also, Andy ran the outside to the inside of the chicane. What a move. Joker's had a better run off the corner and he's tucked back in. Great defending from Joker. This has been a really good watch.
Nice clean racing as well.
Yeah, if I'm Lennon in this position, I'm thinking to myself, these two look like they're going to be very racy with one another. They've got
nothing to lose.
Yeah. Lennon giving a little flash of the lights. Blue flag has cleared Zombie and he's on his way down to find Marley. Homer to the inside of Dusty Fossil in
Andy
towards
ran
turn
the
one.
outside for the lead and Joker's held it again.
That's great driving. Andy will enjoy this as well.
You get such a privileged commentating. You can flick through the grid.
Yeah.
I don't know who to watch. There's every single corner there's someone overtaking.
Yeah. I love doing it. It's just so much fun to do. It's been a brilliant season as well. The lads have really put on a show. Like I said, the idea of this season was just to get people involved in GT again, whether they're new to it or get them back on track if it's been a while. But it's really surpassed expectation for me. The racing's been brilliant. Other than Steph T-boning everyone last week, it's been really good.
Well, update from the championship. I've just had a flick down and looked at laps. Size last lap 1.4 seconds quicker than the leaders, with only 6.7 seconds. So 5-6 laps at that pace. I know the laps are running out. 5 laps left, he'll be right on them if they keep fighting.
But he's also got 5 cars to get past. I mean, Marley's got a 1 second penalty here, and Bredd might get a penalty for that as well. Andy is.
I'm tipping blue flag for a podium in this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Lennon is going to take a look at Andy. Opportunity knocks for Lennon. And he's going to go much later on the brakes. He's going to go round the outside. And he gets that done.
Super fair from Andy.
Yeah. Andy's a brilliant driver. That's why I want him to win one.
He's so much nicer on track than in person.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I've had a romantic date with Andy. We shared over a steak, and it was one of the most pleasant afternoons I've had all year. But you speak to him in a PlayStation party, it's like, it's a completely different story. Just an aggressive man. Dusty Fossil is now looking interested again at this race lead. He's about a second off these front runners. And he's bringing Homer and Bredd with him, and weirdly Mike's still there.
This is strange.
That's weird. I mean, he's just gone off. Yeah.
I just flicked on board.
Blue flag P9. He's going to go past Marley in a second, who's got a 1 second penalty, so that's one less thing to do. And with all respect in the world, I doubt he'll have much bother getting past Mike, because you just got to sell him a fake and Mike will panic.
I don't think you have to do that. I think as long as your arrow's within a sort of 6/10 window,
it just drive off.
Mike is not looking forward.
Lennon is past Andy from earlier on in the lap, and he's pulled a gap, and Lennon's now on the charge. Lennon doesn't need to win this race. He needs to remind himself of that.
Another good lap from Carl. He's matched the best lap of the race, give or take a couple of tenths in the last 2 laps, so he's on a catch up.
It's very intriguing. There's still a lot that can happen in this race. Blue flag's right on Mikey now. Mikey goes across the inside, and blue flag goes through with ease. Ooh. Mikey's now sliding. The panic's.
It's on.
Yeah.
It's on. Where's P11? Nobby Norris, P11. Still within Mikey range, this is.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Going back to Lennon's position now, he's got 9 tenths to Andy. Looks like him and Joker have got the pace. He really
Joker, 1 second penalty.
I was just going to say, he really needs to think about not pressuring Joker here, letting Joker win, keeping that gap nice and clean, letting him to run their own race, because he does not want Joker defending fresh air and slowing him down.
No, absolutely not. And he's got a 1 second penalty as well, as has Joker.
It's all happening.
So Lennon's going to inherit the race lead, but for any problems, I think, by the end of the next lap. And Andy might get another penalty for that. Dusty Fossil's going to be up there as well. Don't rule him out of this. He had a really strong end to the last race. And Homer's got a half-second penalty as well. There's penalties flying everywhere.
It's only minimal, the tyre wear in these races, obviously, but as I'm flicking through, you sort of get a ripple effect of people's tyre wear. Guess who's the most?
Blue flag.
Mike.
Oh yeah, I should have guessed
It's
that.
always my D-pad Mike.
D-pad Mike that drives on a wheel.
Yeah. Lennon! Oh, sorry, I'm gone mad. I was looking at Lennon's name and I had Jokers on my screen and I had a 1 second penalty. Ignore me, lads.
Good job. Lennon goes so wide out of there.
Doesn't need to risk it at this point in the race.
Yeah, he's up on his fastest time through the first sector. Not by much, but Lennon's gonna have a nice healthy gap here.
Blue flag's in for a bit of luck as well because Homer's half-second penalty should get him in front of him and will bring Andy and Joker right back towards him.
Yeah.
That gap of 7.5 seconds after he spans back down to 3.1 now.
Yeah. Dusty Fossil goes through. Homer's taking his penalty as well.
Ooh,
Blue flag's going to close up. Homer's there. And he drops down to 5th. But Lennon is 1.3 seconds clear of Joker in 2nd place. This is going to make it all but impossible for Blue Flag to win the championship.
He gets past Bread quickly.
Am I correct in thinking that Joker's going to overtake Blue Flag as well? I think Jonesy's in the stream. Joker might overtake Blue Flag here in the standings because he was only a point behind him, I think. Could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see.
That was before the night started.
Yeah, but I mean it'll be very close.
It'll be close,
it might be even.
because I think it's about the same last race.
Yeah, to be fair, Biggles, I think with the ghost in there, I don't think there was actually any contact. I think it was just the way that it looked on screen, the way he went through his car. So Lennon goes so wide. If he doesn't need to get himself a penalty. But 1.6 seconds is the gap. I won't read that one out loud, Eddie.
I've just, as you said it, I was reading Eddie's name. Yeah, but just week too soon, I'd say, for that joke.
Yeah.
Next week maybe.
Right, Lennon 1.8 clear. He's got 1 lap to navigate. Yeah, you can do that, Jonesy. That's no problem. Joker 2nd, Homer 3rd. He's on track for a podium here on debut week.
Great.
Dusty Fossil's there. Andy's a massive shame for Andy. Blue Flag's going to have a run on Andy into the last corner. This is a big move. Andy's going to go around the outside. Blue Flag will show him to the outside.
Andy's got the run then.
Blue Flag will send this into the first corner.
He has to send it.
I want to go on board with Bread. Andy late on the brakes. Blue Flag's there. Cuts across his line. And he's still going to be on the inside. These two have raced against each other for years. Blue Flag still towards the outside. Bread's still there. Oh. That's a bit of a slide from Blue Flag. And he stays ahead. Cuts off Blue Flag's nose. And he's run wide.
We've got a wild Bread on the inside. Oh.
Bread 1 second penalty. And Andy's dropped right off into the background. I saw there was contact. I didn't know how much that really affected him. Zombie's going to go up the inside. And that's job done. But Lennon, 2 seconds clear. He's got the final chicane and the final corner to navigate. And he's going to need... Blue Flag's going to need a miracle. And Joker as well.
I'm guessing Jonesy will give us an update on points at some point.
Yeah, he said he's going to post it in the Discord between races, so we'll give you the full info. I will need the photo of the grid again, Tom, just for full reverse grid. But Lennon round
contact.
Sorry. Time to miss it. Lennon round the final corner, picks up a race win when it matters most. Joker P2 after a great drive. Homer, brilliant P3 on his debut week. Dusty Fossil P4. Blue Flag smashes himself into the wall over the line. Marley comes home for P6 out of nowhere. Bread P7, Zombie Pier. Andy dropped all the way down to P9.
Mikey P11.
There we go. You called it. You called it. Nobby Norris P10. Mikey P11. Royston P12. And here he comes.
The chicken man.
The chicken
Los
man.
Polos.
Yeah.
Great race from Homer there, especially. I think podium in a mixed up GT2 Group 4 race is a seriously good effort on your first week.
I almost want to call, you know how much Goy loves his chicken, I almost want to call him like the cold wing.
Race results are confirmed.
Lovely stuff. Right, what we'll do, we'll give it a couple of minutes while we sort out the grid. Hopefully the lobby doesn't crash on me. That'll be frowned upon. Goy Carp has trouble with the course, has trouble with everything by the looks of things. Right, starting grid. Let's give this a go then, shall we?
Right. So, do you want pole position first?
Right, so brain fart. Right, let's go reverse order. So Lennon will be last. Joker will be second last. Then it will be Homer.
Yep. Dusty Fossil P4. Blue Flag P5. Marley P6. Quiet race there, but a solid points for him.
Really good
snuck
points.
up the grid. That's solid.
Yeah.
Bread P7. Zombie P8.
So Bread P7, Zombie P8.
Andwar P9.
Yep.
Nobby Norris P10.
Yep.
I'm going to skip P11.
Yeah. And
Royston
Royston
P12.
There we go.
Mike, if you finished P11, we're not classifying in this race.
Well, I've currently got a black screen in terms of the track view. I can't see the track, but
I can see the cars.
you can see the cars.
Everyone on my screen is just sat on the grid, on the pit lane in their cars.
Well, I mean, everyone seems to be okay. I'm just going to put a message in and say any lobby issues for anybody. Fingers crossed it works for me. If not, we'll have to reset the lobby.
Yep. So do we know the permutations before we kick off?
There's not a chance you know that word.
I can't spell it.
Right.
There we go. Right, so Blue Flag is 9 points off Lennon. Lennon 216. Steph still in second place on 212. Blue Flag in third on 207. Joker sneaking in on 203 in fourth.
Yeah, so Joker can't win it now, from my knowledge. There's 13 people,
Yeah,
and I think Lennon's
correct.
won more races. So Joker can tie for the champion. No, actually, he can't even tie for it, because if Lennon comes last, he'll get 1 point. So Joker needs to get...
Joker's aim should be Steph.
Yeah, Joker needs 10 points, and then Joker will finish minimum of third in the championship. Blue Flag is on 207, and Lennon is on 216. So Blue Flag needs to draw with Lennon because he's won more races than him this season, so he'll win it on count back on wins. So Blue Flag needs to get 9 places.
Hell of an ask.
Yeah, literally Lennon needs to finish like 6th or 7th. Yeah, this is it. Must be broken. I didn't win. Got cut up saying that. Right, give everybody a 1 minute warning. Hopefully it will load in fine for me. I don't know because I still can't see everyone.
If we have everyone's podium predictions, we've still got a proper race to finish, not just the championship.
Yep.
Maybe Goy will win his first race. So I couldn't finish that sentence. We've got Mikey up on the front couple of rows, starting in third. We have seen Mike, all jokes aside, especially in this final race, if he gets out front early on and builds a gap, gives himself a real chance of getting his second win in GT.
Yeah, he won one a while ago. I think it was in... I can't remember what it was in actually.
We know he can do it.
Yeah, I'm just telling everyone I'm having spectacular issues because I still can't see. So I'll give everyone a 1 minute warning. But if you're if you're Lennon in this position, obviously I don't think he's won a GT title before. So are you just going to concentrate on just?
It's a real tricky one because as you know yourself, the second you try and drive carefully and look after things, you start making mistakes. So I think from Lennon's point of view, just drive as quick as you can for the first half of the race. Don't do anything stupid. But
I think I'm correct in thinking if Lennon finishes in the top 9, then Lennon's won the championship.
Yeah, it's a point per position. So
yeah, so I'm just thinking. So best chance he's had.
Yep.
Top 9 for Lennon, and that relies on Blue Flag winning the race. So we'll keep you posted.
Confirming Lennon has not won a GT title.
What I will also say, I'll quickly jump in and say this before we start, is Joker missed a race during this season as well. So if Joker hadn't have missed a race, he would have been right there as well. Obviously Steph likewise.
I was going to say a shout out to Steph. Steph really should be in this fight, giving himself a chance to win this because he's drove excellent this season.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. And to be fair to Blue Flag, he missed the first week, I think, of the season as well. So, and maybe, to be fair, Lennon might have even missed a week. I'm not sure.
I think everyone's had a couple of mismatches.
Right,
it's been a great season.
The room's still being prepared, apparently. So,
we're gonna have a restart.
Unfortunately, my game is completely frozen.
I'll drop it in the chat before you close the lobby.
Yeah, well, I think the only issue it will do is it will probably cancel the stream because I'll have to close the game down.
No worries.
Which is a real nuisance. Oh, don't do this to me.
Well, we all now know that Aaron's tapping into next door's internet. And he's been caught red-handed.
Aaron certainly isn't.
On his big moment.
Aaron pays a fortune for Aaron's internet every month.
Yeah, Doris next door does.
Yeah. Right, so unfortunately we're going to have to restart the stream right on the final race of the season. I'm very, very sorry. But we'll be back up in a couple of seconds. Please like this stream before you go and then do the same with the new one when you join. We'll be back with you within a couple of minutes. Tom, if you could pop a chat in the and just let us know. Well, let everyone know that we're going to have to do a reset.
Yeah, that's already in.
Cool. Nightmare. Right, see you all in a second.